Yo guys, how you doing? It's MizzyXKOVX here. Today I'll be showing you how to set up some sort of macro for your mobile. Most of the time it's going to cost you these days, and that's quite annoying when it comes to mobile, especially when not a lot of people have got money these days, or do you know what I mean, just don't really want to spend on games, because let's be honest, Responsible Tower Defense is quite an expensive game to, let's just say, buy things on. So this is a sort of new method, should we say. It is iPhone only, unfortunately, but on iPhone there's a feature called switch control, and you can use this to create recipes to make your phone more or less do it itself. So if I wanted to set one up, for instance, I would go to recipes, I would create my room recipe. You can name it whatever you like. So if we're doing boss battles, we would name it boss battles, so we know. If we assign a switch to full screen, and then custom gesture. Now here is where it gets a little bit tricky. So you would now map out your phone how you would on the game. So for instance, if it's boss battles, you would press, let's just say, around about here for start and everything like that. So each tap is, so you're allowed up to 10 taps, sorry. 10 taps is exactly what you're allowed. Any more than that you can't do. So it will only record up to 10 taps. You see that tap 10 times, and it won't let me tap anywhere else on the screen. So if we stop that, we save that as custom gesture. If we come back here, we'll see that it's a boss battles now. So if we come off of that, and if we go to launch recipes, and we go boss battles, which is the one I just created. So now if we go over to SpongeBob, open this bad boy out. So how we get this to work is, so let's just go into our boss battles. Quick little game. So I'll go back to it in a second. I'll show you my settings. But if you press your power button 3 times, so I'm in the game and press 1, 2, 3, you'll have this little come up. So I just set up a custom gesture. So every time I tap the screen now, see these little dots that will come up. Yeah, it's a little bit off. Obviously when you come to these, you usually just draw a little dot on your phone so you know exactly where you're pressing, but every tap that you do on your phone will play 1 10 tap cycle. So you can do this with placing units and stuff like that. I'll show you how that would work in a minute. But there is one major drawback to doing this, is when you set up your custom gesture, when you set up your doing it auto, you will not be able to use your phone until you press your lock button 1, 2, 3 times. So then now you have access to your phone again. But you will not, I repeat, you will not be able to use your phone during this process. So you will have to manually wait for it to stop. But another drawback, one, it is free, but it's also very, very hard to control. So if I go over to my normal one, which is this one, this is my normal boss battles one. So I'll press that one, and then if we go over to boss battles now again, and let's just go for this one, for instance. We press the lock button 3 times, 1, 2, 3. See how it comes up then. This is my normal one that I use, but that's 1 tap will create 1 cycle. And you know the cycle will finish because the dot will then disappear. You should be able to see the dot on your side, and I can see the dot as well. So you see that's 1 cycle for 1 tap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press it 8 times. It will then proceed to cycle 8 times. So there is some sort of element to control of this, but again, it's very difficult to do so. But I do not recommend overloading your phone by, I don't know, tapping 1,000,000 times, because it's not going to process that correctly, and also you're not going to know the time scale of how long it's going to take, if that makes sense. So you'll be locked out of your phone until this cycle was continued, if that makes sense. So once this cycle's finished, I'll show you how to then use this on, say, story mode, raids, or challenges. Just gotta wait for it 1 second. This is then pressing it 8 times. So every 8 times is about 8 seconds. So as you can see, that would be 1 cycle. So 8 times would be about 36 seconds. No, 36 said, wow, I'm absolutely awful. Don't just, well, it turns out it's 64, but we're not going to talk about that. Jesus Christ. That's absolutely awful. Right, so now that that's then finished, if we then go, we need to then press the lock button again 3 times. Once that's then done, you can then come out. So if we go over to, 1 second. So I need to change mine now to challenges. This is my custom recipe for challenges. I'll show you that now. So we would launch recipe to my challenges. Again, we would open up SpongeBob. This will work on any game as well. Any game that you can sort of auto or anything like that. But again, you also do need to be quite good at the game. I'm just doing this for testing purposes with a normal level 31 jelly, which is, I know that most people don't have a level 31 jelly, but anything with some sort of good AoE range would be suitable. So how I would do this is I'd find a nice big spot that I can place my things in, change it to ×5, then I would then activate my macro, and you see this is what it will do. That's one cycle. So one tap is one cycle of that. So if I tap again, it will then do another cycle, and then so on and so forth. I'm not sure why I placed the granny. It shouldn't have done that then. I believe it's because, it's because it previously had the granny equipped, so I do apologise for that. So if we just go over here, for instance, I'll go like this, and then we'll just do that. So then it automatically places my jellyfish or good AoE unit, and then it will just cycle through. So one tap is one cycle, and it will just continue to play. So 10 taps would be 10 cycles. So the only really way of trying to get a point where you can control this would be to manage your taps. So if one cycle you've done it for 25 seconds, then you know that once you press it one time, 25 seconds is going to be one cycle. So if you want it to, I don't know, last 2.5 minutes, you would then do it 10 times. So I guess that's the only really way that you could control this. It's a little annoying, but it's also free. It's a very free method. It's a free feature that comes with iPhone. But I'll show you properly next round, because this wasn't really a fair round, because I placed more grannies than I should have. So again, we'll start again. We'll press the 3 buttons. That will come up. That's how you know. And then again, I would tap. So you see all these dots. That's then placed. So you'll have 10 taps, and luckily enough, 10 taps is exactly placing 2 units and pressing the restart button or replay button, for instance. So again, we'll just press the cycle. It will then place them for me, kill them all, and then and so on and so forth. And then that's what you would do. So you can do this on all story mode missions. Just got to find the right space for your units. Again, you do sort of have to have decent units, so you've sort of earned this right, if that makes sense. But any problems or any people need any help, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you guys. Please let me know if you struggle.